for the worst article of 2021, and it's just February. The LA Times piece is titled, "What Can You Do About the Trumpets Next Door," or Trumpites, by writer Virginia Heffernan. She begins, "The Trumpites next door to our pandemic getaway," she has a pandemic getaway, "just plowed our driveway without being asked and did a great job." So after this good deed, did she leave a thank you note? No. She called the neighbor a bigot. Regarding her neighbor's generosity, Heffernan quotes a TV skit. "When white people are alone, they give things to each other for free." Then she adds, "Hezbollah, the Shiite Islamist political party in Lebanon, also gives things away for free." But she's not done yet. She saved the Hitler reference for last, rekindling a memory from a French family who once told her that Nazis were polite too. So what kind of creep decides to publicly denigrate kind neighbors? Either a really bad person who puts tribal politics before human kindness, or a fantasist. See, if her neighbor is pro-Trump, they probably watch Fox, and they'll recognize the name Virginia Heffernan and know that she compared them to Nazis. They should know that. But will they? I mean, if they exist. Really, what writer takes that chance to attack a next-door neighbor, knowing they're vile Trump supporters and knowing that they could find out? The Times should have sent someone to her pandemic getaway to see if the driveway was cleared, and also to get the neighbor's side of the story. So it's not just some rant that exudes superiority over a fantasy enemy. The editors should give this snowplower a chance to respond. Or maybe admit they blew it and let a tall tale get by them because they wanted it to be true. So in sum, a person who makes up this story is bad. But if the story is true, it kind of makes her worse. Either way, hand her the shovel and let her dig out of this on her own. So, Geraldo, what gets me about this is like, it's just, she knows the snowplower is a Trump supporter, but she gives no concrete evidence how that is. And if I were an editor, I would ask that and say, you need to have that in this article.
Well, I'm not sure now. Are you saying that she made up the article, or are you saying that she's just a bad reporter?
I don't know. Okay. I think
well,
that if she made it up, if she made it up, she's a fantasist. If it's real, then she's just an awful person. To do that to a neighbor.
You start
it's
using
like, it's almost
Mussolini, Hezbollah, Nazis. I mean, it's a Hillary Clinton in the basket of deplorables. It's that arrogant elitism that I just can't stand. Mm-hmm. And they're mostly progressives, and they just irk me in a way that I can't begin. That's why, all due respect to John Kerry, that's one of the things I don't like. This kind of silver spoony. I'm smarter than you, and you're, here in Ohio. I'm surrounded by, this is Trump country, except for my little neighborhood here. But, nice people, solid citizens, good Americans. If the writers and the politicians of this country can't figure out those millions of people, then they're going to be, adrift in every way, emotionally, morally. It's so disheartening and anti-democratic. It's a small d. Back to you.
You know what Geraldo just nailed, Katie, is that this idea, this division is kind of a media contrivance that I live in a neighborhood where there are liberals on both sides of me, and we get along great. Mm-hmm. And everybody in the neighborhood, everybody's fine, everybody respects. So to me, this thing is something that is percolating in her head, and it's like, oh my God, they're at each other's throats, blah, 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 blah. No, actually, we're normal human beings. We don't look at people like they're political animals.
So if this is true, the story that she wrote, she also says that she won the battle of lawn signs early on, right? So I imagine this is the kind of woman who has a hate doesn't live here sign right next to her dump Trump sign. So there's like conflicting statements about that. But there's good news for everybody. Mm-hmm. You no longer have to plow your neighbor's driveway. Just like assume they're going to hate you for your politics because they're political. So we just got everybody out of doing plowing. Like, good for her. You just got everyone out of plowing your neighbor's driveway. Just put a Trump sticker on your snowplow, and no one will ask you to do anything.
There you go. So, Jesse, I'm still like okay, if she just wrote this piece for the LA Times, she assumed that her neighbors don't know, her next door neighbor doesn't know that she's a writer, will not know that she's calling him a bigot, or does he not exist? I'm trying to figure this out in real time.
Well, I would let Jeffrey Dahmer plow my driveway, Greg. I mean, shoveling snow is back-breaking kind of work. I can't relate to this woman at all, and it's mostly because the media has not brainwashed me into believing that my political opponent is a Nazi. Yes, if you believe Trump is a genocidal dictator and all of his supporters need to be brought up on war crimes, you're going to have a moral dilemma when they come over to shovel your driveway. But most of the people that voted for Trump voted for him because he wasn't crooked Hillary. Also because he was a celebrity businessman who put America first, but also he wasn't crooked Hillary. And wait till they find out, this woman, that a lot of these Trump supporters are also in the military, in the police departments, and in the fire departments. And that she actually needs Trump supporters more than Trump supporters need her.
I can't believe I also, Greg, started thinking to myself in real time, like, are we missing something? Or is there a backstory here? Had something happened in the past? Did she have a particular way that she shoveled? And by the way, Jesse, not backbreaking when you're using a snowplow, which I think he did. Chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, I think this
but she didn't have a plow.
This is an important tweet from the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party. This is a fascinating insight into how many on the left think the writer cannot fathom good in people with whom she disagrees politically. I mean, on a serious note, I think it's really important point that these calls for unity are out there. Let's all commit to them on both sides. The country needs to come together.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that article was based on a call to unity. Yeah, no, that's a good point. But she said, she claimed this was a call for unity, and then she compares them to Nazis. I think the point, I don't think any of us, if we were running a paper or at Fox, would have ran with this story. I would have to check it out first. I don't believe it. Or maybe I do believe it because she could be that awful.